TAGNBRAG Nation and Rocky family, welcome back to another episode of Food Plot Chronicles. Now, we showed you guys the Ponderosa. You're gonna see that again. We showed you Bob's upper, lower, and the cabin. You're gonna see them again too. Now we are moving on to a food plot that we call the front field. And actually, we're gonna be doing 3 more food plots this time. The front field, Grandpa's plot, and the plot behind the pond. Now, the front field is actually the first food plot that we ever planted on Camp Cutlet ground. And it's insane how it has changed over the years. But today, we're gonna be talking about diversity. Duh, David, everybody's talking about diversity. It's 2025. Not that kind of diversity. Food plot diversity. What do I mean by food plot diversity? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today, we're gonna be talking about planting different food sources in the same plot and the reasons why we do it. We are also gonna be showing you a progress report on the 3 plots that we begin to plant today. It's an exciting day, I'm telling you. You're gonna wanna stick around for this one. I think I hear Dino calling. We gotta get back to work. All right, TAGNBRAG Nation, good morning. What is up? Welcome back to Food Plot Chronicles. We're on a little testing site here today, and we actually, as you can see, this hasn't even been sprayed yet. We came back here with the crimper and just messed around with it a little bit, but the thing with the crimper is it's not going to kill off the broadleaf stuff, the big leafy stuff, and also like the yellow flower stuff that comes up after the turnip. So this plot last year was all turnips and clover, and we wanted to test this out back here in beans. It's so flat. It's actually a perfect little bean plot because especially in the summertime, the sun comes directly overhead of it. So we came in here with the 5-foot P&H drill, and we're just drilling in the beans without tilling it, without spraying it, without anything. Literally, this is the greenest it's been all summer long. We're gonna kind of do things a little bit backwards because we're gonna have to come in here and spray this off now. But essentially, the crimping kind of knocked some of this stuff down. We didn't even crimp the whole plot, just a little bit of it. And then the drill actually knocked some of this stuff down as well. But we'll come back in here and spray it now so that hopefully it kills off everything that's living, and we won't have, like the beans won't have to compete with what's already in here. And who knows? I don't know if we'll actually fence this off yet or not. We're still kind of trying to decide. Either way, more than likely, these beans will have we will broadcast brassicas in the mix so that we can get the most tonnage that we can out of this plot. Honestly, I don't even think we're gonna fertilize this plot. It's gonna be a complete test just to see what we get out of it. And I kind of like that, to be honest with you, because you start to manipulate things and you start to change things a little bit or just do things different and outside the box, and you can learn, you know, what works, what doesn't, what you can apply to other food plots, and that's kind of what we're here for today. So, yeah, this is my dad's favorite plot. We got the stand sitting right up there where he killed Kevin, literally probably standing right here a couple years ago. And we got the rope-a-dope right there. That's one of our main scrapes. We get a lot of moultrie content out of it. And this is just an awesome plot right behind camp. Literally right behind camp. You can see the pond and the blind in the background. It's an easy access for us, and we're gonna see if these beans actually come up and what they do as we plant them, or as we do the planting process backwards. So just testing her out. Food Plot Chronicles, that's what it's all about. We're doing a lot of testing and different things to be more efficient over the last couple days as we put the beans and corn in the ground And this spot it'll be cool to see how it evolves over the Food Plot Chronicles season and over the summertime, and see what we have to do to it, or if it's a wash. And if it's a wash, that's okay too, because we tried it and it didn't work. We'll do something different the next time. But for right now, there's a lot of beans. There's a lot of beans in here, and you can see them in the ground. Pretty cool. TAGNBRAG Nation. I feel like Mr. Rogers right now. Nothing like a new pair of boots though from Rocky. These are the Grindstone XTRs, brand new pair of work boots with, check this out, the BOA connection. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? Look at that nice pair of work boots. You can get them on their website, and you can utilize our code TAGNBRAG25 for 25% off anything on the website. I am going to put these on right now because we have a little bit of work to do, and I love a good new pair of boots. So we're going to slip these bad boys on right now. That BOA is so nasty. I mean, that is so easy to loosen up. It's so easy to tighten. You slip these bad boys right on. They are comfortable as all get out. Give it the old. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Those are insane. Those are insane. I'm in love. I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. Let's get to work. Well, TAGNBRAG Nation, we are taking a walk right behind camp, and we're gonna check out the progress on the beans that we planted back here a little over a month ago. Okay, we had extra beans. We've always wanted to experiment in this plot back here. We figured we'll plant the beans. If they grow, great. If not, it's always easy enough to till those under and plant a brassicas, like a Whitetail Institute brassicas blend back here anyway, which we normally have back here. But we're trying to set up a little food plot diversity back here, as we've been talking about in this episode. And this plot is really close to another one of our plots that's just over the hill that we call the trailer plot. The trailer plot has a blind on it and a tree stand on it also, but that plot is usually, and it's going to be again another blend of Whitetail Institute, like a brassicas turnip mix. We always mix in clover in there because the clover comes up first thing in the spring, and so the turkey, the deer, when everything's starting to green up, them turnips will really start popping, and the clover will really start popping and then benefit us, kind of a two-part thing, but benefit us going into the springtime as well. So this is what this bean field looks like right now. It's nothing crazy, but you can still see the rows of beans coming up right here, and they're coming up pretty well. I'm looking and I don't see a ton of browse pressure, but in this plot, we didn't even fertilize this plot. We just drilled in the beans because we had leftover beans, like I said, and we just wanted to get rid of them and drill them in. If you look, it is pretty much like a green carpet of beans. They're just not growing up a ton, and it's probably because they literally had no fertilizer. So if we come in here and we actually fertilize over this, I think we're going to get rain in the next couple of days. We may be able to get these things to pop pretty good. What I was worried about in this plot mainly was the browse pressure, and it doesn't look like there's a whole ton of browse pressure, especially because you can see it's like it's literally like a green carpet of soybeans in here, and a lot of the, like, there's no like blotchy parts of soybeans. It's all drilled in perfectly. You could see the rows, the spacing is really good, and I just think they're not getting to maturity because they probably don't have the fertilizer that they needed in this plot to begin with. So I'm thinking if we come back in and fertilize this, we might actually be able to get a pretty decent stand of beans in here. This was an experimental process, and I think now that I'm seeing this, and as you guys can see the progress and what we've done, like, all we did was drill in the beans and we sprayed it. The beans are the first thing that are coming up right now, and they're the thing that's gonna take over this plot if they're given, you know, the fertilizer and stuff to do that. So I think we need to feed this plot fertilizer and see where it goes. You can see all this exposed dirt. We could probably just broadcast some turnips in there right now. Look at this deer. Look at the deer coming at me right here. Come here. Come here. I told you, it's a focal point. I'm literally in bow range of this deer right now. Come on. Look at this thing. I'm closer to it now. This thing's coming towards me. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Might be the new Rockies that I got on. They might be good luck. I don't know where that thing came running from. But you can see, I mean, case in point, this is literally a focal point for the deer, and there's so much daylight activity in this plot that it's like, and this is one of the tillable spots that we have on our property. It's like we can't not take advantage of it. I'm so glad for the first time ever we've tried to experiment with beans here, because as I'm looking at it, you can just see the rows, and the rows are coming up good. If we actually put a little bit more effort into this plot, we probably would have been able to make it a little bit better. Look at this deer. This deer's 25 yards from me. Oh, finally got a little skittish. Probably coming in here to munch on a couple of soybeans. But this is what we call the behind the pond plot. Now, the trailer plot is right over the hill, and that is all turnips. That's why the diversity of turnips to beans, because a lot of times the deer will utilize both plots, and the turkey, honestly, will utilize both plots in the same day, morning, afternoon, whatever it is. So being able to have beans up here and turnips right over the hill, I think it's awesome for the diversity. And then we've got corn in the backyard. So come late season, when we're pulling these deer, and especially last year, we were pulling these deer out of these pine thickets back here. They were coming right into the backyard to eat the corn. Now we have soybeans right here and corn back there, and you get a little bit of snow on the ground, and this could be dynamite late season. This is normally an earlier season spot. This could be dynamite late season. So I'm going to talk to the boss man, but we got to feed this a little bit of fertilizer and get these beans popping a little bit more, because I like what I see back here. I really do. I like what I see given the effort that we've put in. TAGNBRAG Nation, what is up? Back at Food Plot Chronicles headquarters, the mecca of the cronnies, and we are here doing a little progress report on the corn. Now, as you can see, this stuff has shot up, seemingly shot up in the last couple of weeks. This is what we call the front field. We are back in the front field now, and I'm going to check it out, and I'm telling you, we brush hogged the backside of this the other day, and the far right side, it got a little wet back there. You could see this right here. This got a little wet right here, and the corn is a little bit yellow and not growing quite as good. We honestly, you can't really do much about that. You know, Mother Nature just ran its course this year and decided that June was going to be the month of rain, and that's what you get, unfortunately. But the corn that is growing good in here is absolutely amazing, and there is going to be a ton of corn in this field. As you can see, we came in here with the Machio tiller. We tilled all of this, and you can see it's still where it didn't grow. I mean, it's still very fine, very just perfect dirt for planting. And then we came in here with the no-till 2-row corn planter and went around this field, And 3/4 of this field is growing up amazing. I mean, this stuff is dang near almost chest high in some areas. Like, and it is just lush green, healthy looking corn. There's going to be a ton of food in this plot. Now, we always say things can't go perfect, things can't grow perfect. And as we get towards this side of the field, you could see that the corn is getting a little bit lower. It's not growing up as well, and it's just because it got wet. You could see on this side, it just unfortunately it had to endure a lot of water throughout the month of June. It's finally starting to dry out here in New York. This actually, all of this was literally a pool of water at one point. So the fact that there's anything growing in here is pretty impressive. But getting back to the food plot architecture and specifically the diversity of food in this particular plot, we're going to have plenty of corn out here, as you can see. All this bare dirt here and everywhere where I brush hogged the other day is going to be all a Whitetail Institute turnip blend. And we'll probably do a combination of turnips, radishes, and maybe even some clover in here, so that once it does start to come up, or once the spring has sprung next year, we can have some green clover in here for the turkey and the deer to eat too. But there's going to be plenty of food in here and plenty of grain. We got probably almost a full acre of corn that we'll have out here, and then another probably close to an acre of the turnip and brassicas blend along the edges and along the back side here. And we plant diversity, or we try and plant multiple different things in each food plot that we have for a couple different reasons. Number one, it allows you to hunt this specific plot. It allows you to hunt it almost all season, because maybe they're not going to be hitting the corn quite as much in October as it's still as it's still drying out and as the cobs are still hardening and stuff, but they'll be able to hit the brassicas, which will be lush green and ready for them to eat. They'll also be able to hit the apple trees on the outside during October. And then in November, we will actually probably brush hog some of this corn in here and knock it down and allow for a more open field in here. So you'll have turnips, brush hogged corn, and then standing corn on the far side. And that's just going to allow deer to come in here and feed and browse around as they like to do. So you're really, you're trying to captivate, or you're trying to take advantage of all parts of the season here. The season is not as long as a lot of the other seasons in the country up here in New York. So you're trying to take advantage of it. And once December comes around, they'll obviously be hitting the grain, but then they'll start hitting the bulbs of the turnips and the radishes over here too. Now, it also allows the deer to pick what they want to eat. You know, so if this was just all corn in here, if they're not hitting the corn at that time, or if the corn is not what they want to eat at that time, this blind kind of useless at that point of the season, which is fine. We've got plenty of other spots to hunt, but to maximize the time that we get in this blind, now they get to choose what they want to eat, and they have multiple different options in this specific field, especially with the turnip and brassicas blend that has multiple different options in it. Not only radishes, not only turnips, but kale, rapeseed, some clover, like I said. So there's going to be a lot of green on the outskirts of this corn for the deer to choose from. And over the years, we've learned that allowing the deer to pick what they want, once again, it just maximizes us being able to sit in this blind as many times and as many days of the season as we can. We get adverse weather up here constantly in New York, whether it's rain, wind, snow, but throughout the fall, there's a good chance that we're getting hit with some serious adverse weather. So those blinds are extremely, extremely important to us, and us being able to maximize the time that we can spend in them throughout the fall and giving ourselves the option at least is a big deal. So this will be a two-part food plot, as I said: corn, brassicas blend, apple tree, apple tree, apple tree. There's apples all around here. This plot, although it's close to the road, bedding is right here, bedding is right here. we used to plant beans in this plot, but even when we fenced the beans, it was so hard to keep the deer out because of how close we are to the bedroom. Although this field is not huge, a little bit bigger than an acre in this little square right here, it is not uncommon for this field right here to fill up with 20 plus deer in an afternoon when the feeding frenzy is on and when you get a solid cold front in here. So, you know, it's a little bit of a bummer that we got washed out on this back corner. We'll fill it in with food. There will be plenty of tonnage of food in here that we'll be able to utilize. And actually, I kind of like it better because it pulls some of the green into the middle of the plot a little bit more and allows the deer a little bit more diversity in the middle of this plot as opposed to just around the outside. So we got corn up by the blind, and then we got corn going all the way down to Grandpa's plot, which we'll head over there next and do a little recap of that as well. But this is the front field. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but we're gonna have a lot of food in here, and it's gonna be fun to hunt that blind right there. But wanted to show you guys a little progress report of what the corn looks like, where it's growing and where it didn't get washed out. My goodness, is it growing good. All right, you guys, this is what we call Grandpa's plot. This is what I mowed off literally less than a week ago, I think. Look at the clover. Isn't that nuts? You mow off the top of the grass and this clover just pops. This Whitetail Institute clover is unbelievable. It is so resilient, and it just goes. I mean, it's tough to figure out why we would turn this plot and make it into like a turnip radish blend, and I don't even know if we will. We may do a strip up here where it's just, I think Dean actually tried to spray up here a little bit, but even though he sprayed, look at the clover is still growing up in there. This clover is so resilient. That's why it is one of my favorite plots to plant, because number one, it is so resilient. It will literally, and it can literally grow on anything, and you can cut it down. It's once it's established, it's relatively low maintenance, and it just, the deer love it, the turkey love it. It's so beneficial for them. But this is beautiful. This is, I mean, it's beautiful clover. There's so much of it in here. It's crazy. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we till the backside of this plot and do a little bit of a Whitetail Institute turnip blend back there. But man, this front side, right close to the blind, where in early season with a bow in your hand, this is where you're going to want the deer to be, within 25-30 yards of you, right in here. Why would you not have this clover just continuing to pop? And going back on our food plot diversity talk, we've got corn here, we've got clover here. Right on the other side of these trees is the front field. The back side of that is going to be turnips as well, and then we've got more corn up that way. So it's like the clover kind of adds to the diversity up here, and I almost like it better that way, because once again, you allow the deer to choose. This blind is probably our most hunted blind because of the ease of access. If you can see, I mean, there is literally a wall of pine trees blocking this thing. You can get in and out of this blind with deer right here in the plot, 20 yards from you, and they don't pick their head up. My dad and I got in this blind last year, early season. Deer were hammering the clover, and it was literally, there was 4 bucks in this plot. 4 bucks together, just destroying clover, bulking up for the rut, and we got into that blind unscathed. They didn't even pick their heads up, and got into the blind and had our afternoon hunt. Ended up seeing probably close to 20 deer that evening. And you just get deer coming in and out. Our sanctuary bottom main bedding area is just over the hill, so the deer pop up right there all the time. I don't know, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I did not think the clover was going to look this good, especially after mowing it, and really not mowing it that long ago. And it's this field, this is 80% clover. The grasses are kind of already gone. So moving over to the corn side of things, you can see we got drowned out here, and Dean came in and he broadcasted some corn in here, and you can actually see some of the corn growing up. But the problem is, I think the birds are destroying it, and that is the hard part about all this. The birds are literally starting to pick it out right as this stuff starts growing, And this may just have to be a turnip blend in here eventually. I don't, you know, I can definitely see some corn coming up, and you can see there's a few rows that are coming up in here, which is fine, but we need more than that. You know, we need more than that. So I don't know. There's definitely some corn coming up in here as you get farther down here, so maybe we'll try and let it grow. But when you see stuff like this, see this, that's a corn plant right there, and that's literally laying on its side on the ground. Something literally picked that straight out of the ground, most likely a bird of some sort, which is a bummer. But we've had that problem in this field before, so you're always fighting something when you're food plotting. You're always trying to figure things out. We had great corn in here last year. Don't really know what happened other than the wetness in here this year that kind of held us up. But we will adjust and we will prevail. But I'm telling you one thing right now, I like the look of that clover, and I like the look of that clover a lot. So how about that for some Food Plot Chronicles action? Now, food plot diversity is very important to us. We have found over the years that giving the deer the option to choose what they want to eat in a specific plot only allows you to hunt that specific plot more often. And if you have good access in and out of that plot, you can hunt it a lot more than just a couple times a year. So you saw what the rain did to some of the corn. A little bit of a bummer, I know, but we're still on the we will not be denied tour. So don't worry, food's gonna go in there. Each one of these spots is so crucial for our hunting efforts come fall. We spend a lot of time in all of them because of the ease of access in and out. So they gotta be right. We hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Food Plot Chronicles. As always, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Don't forget to give Rocky a follow as well, and Whitetail Institute. And we will see you right back here next week, where we go back to the Ponderosa and Bob's upper, lower, and the cabin for a progress report on every single one of them. You're not going to want to miss it. Peace.